How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Super Smash.
How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. If you are new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you are returning, thank you so much for showing the love and coming back to a person like me. With that said, a couple of house cleaning things. So right as I was recording this, it comes to my attention that LAXCHRIS put up a video. So what I'm going to do is you'll have to excuse a bit of shade being thrown in the title. I mean no harm by it. I'm just telling you it is what it is. He's a nice guy, but...
Say the line, Bart!
Casualverse is the new hotness.
I'm giving you more value than a tabloid paper and or scarce.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Out of the way, because I know people are going to ask me about it. I just had to say it. Let's jump into what we have. So this leak that comes from 4chan, it doesn't even have a title, but it just literally is just somebody just saying anonymous. Let's go over what this person says. So jumping into it, DATAMINERS checked all spirits and didn't find any Porky spirit. The fact that he is the only missing Brawl boss without a spirit, character background, appearance, or any reference in the files is highly suspicious. Next year is Mother's 30th anniversary, meaning that they could keep Porky for DLC for promotion, especially with Nintendo choosing the characters this time around. He's saying Porky is in. DATAMINERS checked all spirits and found hunters from the Metroid Prime hunters, but not Sylux. Sylux being the character that I mentioned in my Echoes for All series. And this is just me saying it. He is the most important one, for he has appeared in the ending for both Metroid Prime 3 and Federation Forces, making him the only other recurring hunter in the series, along with Samus, making 3 appearances total. Main producer of Metroid Prime 4 previously said that Sylux would get one of the main roles in this game, read main antagonist, and would serve as advertisement for the game. Especially with Nintendo choosing the DLC this time, Sylux is in. DATAMINERS found 2 rare IPs in the files, Jet Force Gemini and Blast Corps, proving Microsoft's involvement. Phil Spencer, leader of Microsoft, confirmed that he was okay with giving Banjo and Smash, and he also scored high in the ballot, something Nintendo definitely noticed. Crossplay exists between Switch and Xbox One, meaning that a collaboration already happened between those two rivals, quote unquote. Banjo is in. So that is it for what is stated. Let's go ahead and dissect this in detail. So let's keep in mind with this too, especially, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably already are, after the Grinch leak, as elaborate as leaks and whatever can be skeptical of everything. Matter of fact, treat this as a life lesson. Be skeptical of everything. Don't shut everything out, but be skeptical. Have criticism on hand. Criticism is completely fine for me to criticize me or whoever or any leak or whatever the case may be. Please keep that in mind. With that said, just setting the stage for you. Now, the Smash Bros. Ultimate is in the wild right now. Like, people have been streaming it, like just ballsy enough to just stream it. Like, Nintendo's not going to see you. I mean, that's a big product for them. Considering the fact that they went after a married couple over some old ass ROMs, you think they're really not going to come after you for their biggest game this year of 2018? Are you kidding me?
What, you thought I wasn't gonna come see you? You thought you wasn't gonna get the taste smacked out of your mouth for trying to
Leak my game.
You better fall back, nigga.
So anyways, with that aside, the game is out in the wild, so it's fairly safe to say that it's easily been data mined throughout. The whole Mother situation, I mean, Nintendo has teased Mother, like even on like Robot Chicken. Nintendo has teased Mother like forever at this point. Like, some people have actually just grown up and graduated high school, and Nintendo still has been teasing Mother. I want to say that they've been getting more appreciation as the years have gone on. I mean, Mother 1 getting its own segment at E3, which is, you know, that's noteworthy. I mean, another thing to mention too is Metroid had 2 games that were announced instead of 1 at the previous E3, just to support the Sylux argument. So there's that too. As far as Banjo 2, considering Microsoft and Nintendo's, you know, their whole fray relationship that they got going right now, it's stretching a bit, but not out of the realm of possibility, considering the fact that Banjo is a skin in Minecraft that you can get. So take that for what it is for that part. Going back to Mother, if you think about Lucas and Ness's final smashes, I mean, they've got those like this other party characters in the smash. They've got 2 assist trophies in there. And I mean, they really like even more obscureness, like Ness's dad being I think Ness's dad is a spirit. I think so. Considering all that, and even I think one of the spirit modes where Wario acts as Facade, I think it was Salsa Spirit Battle. But anyways, it's such a I want to say it's a Sakurai thing, but it's such an obscure detail. It's very peculiar that Porky isn't, considering the fact that Porky was a boss in Subspace Emissary in the Smash Brawl game for Wii. It's very peculiar that Porky, as far as the little that I've seen, is MIA. It's a little odd, but keep in mind Shadow was odd about not being in. So, and he came in as an assist trophy. I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, considering that obscure ass reference, it's very peculiar, and you can't really just say, Nintendo just left it out. As far as Porky, I think I don't even care about Porky, to be honest, really, but I know how essential he is, and I'm all about, this character deserves X, Y, and Z. If they deserve it, they deserve it, whether I like them or not. You could say on the negative aspect of it, you can doubt that Porky would get in, considering the fact that he would be outside of the Spider Mecha that was in, Brawl. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, Sakurai does resize characters. I mean, case in point, Olimar. Olimar is tiny compared to the rest of them, but he's been sized up. And of course, everybody knows Ridley's been sized down. So just keep that in mind. I mentioned it as a negative because I wanted to counter argue against myself, but it is what it is. Going back to the Metroid series, I really just want to mention something. It's kind of like how I make the case for Geno getting in, as far as him and the series being influential to bringing RPGs and making them relevant to the West. Metroid Prime Metroid, the whole series has started its own genre where you say Metroidvania, where like games will put it in the description. This is a Metroidvania style game. It's a classic in Nintendo franchise and has not one but like 2 entries that are often considered among one of the best games of all time. I mean, it is what it is on that. So another thing I want to mention on the side too, as far as the whole spirits and deconfirmation things, as far as I know, spirits function essentially the same thing as trophies, which I don't think that means anything as far as deconfirmations. Now, assist trophies, that's a completely different story. Those essentially are straight up deconfirmations, but even Sakurai mentioned it itself, like the sticker, I'm calling them stickers. they straight up replace the assist trophies because assist trophies, they take so much time to develop and it's unnecessary for, what their functions are. So I don't think spirits mean jacknap diddly dang crap. If you like my tone for that, as far as deconfirmations. The Solix thing, I think it's kind of pointless to mention that because, you do have other hunters to keep in mind, like the ones I mentioned in the video. You may again have a chance with, because, Nintendo, they just go and ask, hey, can I use your IP? And Sakurai's a pretty smart businessman. So considering the fact that he said it numerous times, just get the IP of Banjo and call it a day. It's likely. I think the only thing that really would hold up Banjo and Kazooie getting in is going to be, one, just the legality aspect of it, which is just the fine print, just coming to an agreement as far as using the licensed character. And 2, what can Nintendo gain from adding Banjo-Kazooie in, other than gaining the favor of a certain amount of fans, because they are aware, again, Smash Ballot, how bad people want them in the game. So I guess you could choose, as far as choose your own adventure, do you want to increase the relationship with your hardcore audience, like the hardcore audience that bought a Switch day one, which is essential to them. So it's just something to take note of. Another interesting idea because of this is, if you did get these characters as DLC, why not separately have boss DLC characters like just coming down the line. Kind of like how I feel with Echo Fighters. I think Echo Fighters would be great as DLC that isn't part of the whole fighter pass or whatever. You can give them that Splatoon treatment. They're just treats that are added in and support like throughout the game's life cycle. I think that'd be pretty awesome doing both of those. And if you do that, you can have like a Federation boss if Silex is added in as a DLC character. I can see Metroid getting another representative because they really need to push Metroid Prime 4. They really do. And considering the fact that Smash did pretty well for Xenoblade Chronicles, because again, how many of you really knew who the hell Shulk was or who Xenoblade was before Smash 4? Like, just to be real, I'm included, I'm guilty. I thought he was a Final Fantasy character or some kind of anime character. I had no idea. It is what it is. So considering what that's done for Xenoblade, same thing for Metroid Prime 4, especially having to pour so much money into bringing this franchise back. Ooh, man, I'm really trying to lightning round this to try to condense this and not make it like a 20-minute video like I normally do. So excuse me if I sound kind of frantic, but I'm trying to speed it up for you. Anyways, the overall wise, the wise kind of makes sense. I mean, Silex would be great for Metroid Prime 4 promotion. Porky would definitely, because I think I don't care about him really, but I think he would be a pretty cool character to add to, because Earthbound definitely deserves some more love, along with F-Zero, some more love in Smash, because the diversity definitely isn't there, which, because of that diversity, I actually might make a video because of that. Anyways, because that isn't there, I would like to see some other characters there, but I'm not even going to mention them in this video because it's going to make it longer. Banjo-Kazooie, you know, just like Geno, they're waiting on their time to shine. But anyways, yeah, a couple of this. I tried to find the VG chart pre-order sales to kind of support the argument for another representative being added in Metroid Prime, but I couldn't find the pre-order numbers, and every time I tried to load it in VG charts, I would get an error, so I can't really get the numbers. But if you do go on to pre-order, say, since I get what little I can afford, I get it off of Amazon, you can see like the suggested. And for me personally, like even if I go into incognito mode, if you do anything, it will add like Metroid Prime 4 is like promoted fairly often as far as like Amazon bestsellers. So to get to that bestsellers list, I'm not going to say it's going to be like number 1 or anything, or even number 2, but you got to be moving some numbers to get up there in that sellers list. So that kind of supports Nintendo, because Nintendo's going to know what those pre-order numbers are. So that's got to support to some degree a level of, hey, we need to push this game more. And again, considering the fact that Smash is a massive marketing machine, I mean massive. You like my voice? Massive. Massive marketing machine, that it only makes sense to push it in there. I think Silex, out of all of them, I mean, you could use the best friend or whatever, but I think the Prime Hunters would probably be they'd be cooler to use, in my opinion. But Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo's going to do. Now, a counter argument to all this altogether is Vergeben and the Microsoft notion, which is Minecraft has been reported to be replaced, or at least represented in the game, which means that Microsoft is involved in some way because of that. Now, the game is out, like I said before, the game is out in a while, and again, I'm sure it's being data mined. Now, this part 2, this Jet Force Gemini, I can't even say it right. Jet Force Gemini is very interesting to add into it. I think it's really cool. Just a side note on that, I don't know much about Blast Corps, but Jet Force Gemini being added in would be really, really cool to me. Check out Jet Force Gemini. Just find it online, watch some videos or whatever. Find a way to play it, quote unquote. I'm going to leave that up to you. But it's fairly easy to find and play is my answer to that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's an old shooter game. It's space themed sci-fi game. You got a dog, guy, and a girl. I'm going to leave it at that. But anyways, the whole Vergeben thing, the fact that he mentions the Square Enix notion, keep in mind, all right, I'm going to go against him for a second. Keep in mind, he first said that Minecraft content was coming, which essentially it looks like it did. Then he said Steve was going to be playable. Then he changed it up a bit, said it will be a stage. Then he changed it up again and said it'll be DLC. And then finally, the whole, you know, I'm really trying not to do a spoiler thing here. But anyways, let's go ahead and go on. So keep that in mind. His word isn't law, but considering the fact that he's been right 10 times more than a lot of us, definitely worth taking note, even if he's had to change it up some, because I don't think he's going to be 100%, you know, right. I mean, that's whoever he is, really. But just keep that in mind, you know, take it with a grain of tomatoes. Anyways, as far as the whole setup, I mean, casual players probably, my money would be on Steve business wise.
We've got to have money.
Because it makes more sense. I mean, shout out to all my 9-year-olds out there. It would make a lot of sense to add Steve to the game because that would make a lot of money. But they're already vested into Metroid Prime, so I would take advantage of that, me personally. It would be awesome if they did Banjo and another mother representative. That would be the very noble and respectful route, but I'll understand if they take the business route. I'll cry a little bit if I get Steve, but you know, just keep that in mind. All in all, draw your own conclusions. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me, what do you think of this leak? I'd say, honestly, it's not really a leak, but it's more of like speculation based on evidence, which that's how I feel a lot of them are. Don't let your hopes get too high, you know, keep your expectations low, or else you'll end up regretting like believing in anything in the first place, which I don't want that to happen, as funny as that notion is too, because I laugh at my own pain. Got a Patreon, starts at $1 a month. If you donate to it, greatly appreciate it. If you do, it goes to make the channel a much better channel than it ever. It'll make me be able to do giveaways. I have a shirt store that has a lot of stuff that's on sale right now. Feel free to treat yourself to something nice. DATAMINERS.com. With that said, this is Rich Review Tech signing out. Have a good one. I'm stupid.